Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, June 22nd. The MLB and our 5 best bets are on the way. It is Austin, joined by Logan, and let's dive into a recap from yesterday. Back-to-back 4-in-1 days. Hey, we love to see that. Let's talk about our winners, and then we'll dive into today's picks. Now, we started the day with White Sox-Tigers, no one first inning. Of course, we had to sweat with some runners in scoring position in both halves of the inning. We'll take it, though. Nerfy Nation waved those flags. Then we had Orioles team total over 4.5. We had our Trey Turner and Jerickson Profar hit parlay. We did have one winner in there, which is why it's only a +2 unit. We did have Gunnar Henderson parlayed with Ketel Marte to get a hit. Ketel did not play, so just a half, void there. So not a big winner, but still a winner. And our only loser, Phillies, did not get us 3 runs in the first 5. Awfully bold of you to wear that shirt today, Logan. Kind of want to fight you right now. But either way, they got us 2. Whit Merrifield 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. But a 4-in-1 day, 8-2 run. Fresh cut might be the difference. We're not lying. We're going to dive into today's picks, though. And let's start with our first one of the day, a hit parlay. Now, it is not an odds checker. We do not do those on the weekend. So we're just going to have a regular one in this video. Those will return on Monday. But we still will hopefully go with another winner here. 2 guys that expect to play. It's Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox and Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers, each to record a hit. Is currently -116 on FanDuel. Now, if you look at these 2 guys individually, they could each go for 2+ bases if you're feeling spicy, but I like both their 2 matchups today. Now, obviously, the Red Sox are on the road in Cincinnati taking on the Reds, and you're going to see Duran go up against Frankie Montas, but you look at the matchup, I'm not too afraid of him there. I think he's 1 for 4 lifetime against Montas. So not, great numbers. 1 for 4 is still solid enough for me. At the end of the day, Jarren Duran has just been swinging the hot bat. He's on an 11-game hit streak, batting over 340 during that time span. And he's just been really good. And he's going to get the lefty on righty matchup. Montas is allowing a 276 batting average to lefties this season, much higher than what he's given up to righties. Duran does have, a middle of the pack, 54th percentile walk percentage, but bat and leadoff in Cincy, obviously always hitter-friendly weather. I think he gets a hit today. And then the last leg will be Christian Yelich. And we've talked about Yelich. We've talked about Randy Vasquez before. Yelich is a lefty going up against Randy Vasquez. If you remember last week, I talked about this. Randy Vasquez sucks against lefties. And it's not just sucks, is it honestly sucks is not doing it justice. He's giving up a 465 batting average to lefties. I challenge you to find any other pitcher giving up worse to a respective split, righty or lefty, that's actually pitched to more than, 10 plate appearances. That is terrible. I considered sprinkling a little bit on Yelich to go 2+ hits, which is +210. I was going to take Yelich 2+ bases. However, he's really not hitting for a lot of power this year. Not a lot of, I think 7 home runs on the year. So still just ask him in this hit parlay, parlayed with Jarren Duran, each to record a hit. I think they get the job done. But Logan, I'm going to throw it to you. You got a team total pick. See if they can deliver. Who you rolling with?
Yeah, I'm going with the team that delivered yesterday. I'm taking the Baltimore Orioles team total over 4.5. +100 odds on FanDuel is your best value here. Now, I'm looking at this one, and obviously the Orioles did come through in a big way for us yesterday. I was sitting there for a while sweating. I was like, oh, my gosh, they're getting blown out. Are they just going to mail it in? Yesterday, they continued their offensive outburst. They gave us 11 runs. There's no reason to go away from this bet, in my opinion, especially if you're looking at this matchup. You're like, oh, Ronel Blanco, because he's going to start for the Astros. 2.43 ERA, 0.97 whip. Good numbers on paper for Ronel Blanco. But I do want to stress something about this one. He's coming off a 7 innings pitch, 0 earned run, 0 hit game against the Tigers. It couldn't get any better for Ronel Blanco. Now he's facing a red-hot offense. That Tigers team is they're not nearly what Baltimore is. His 2 prior home games, too, he allowed 4 earned runs to the Twins and 4 earned runs to the Cardinals. Again, Ronel Blanco is not unhittable. Tigers made him look that way, but I still think if we're looking at this one, the Orioles are as red hot as they come. Over the last 7 days, the Orioles are hitting 349 against righties. That's best in the majors. This is not the type of offense Ronel Blanco should mess around against. Baltimore, 14th in batting average with runners in scoring position over the last week. It's really crazy that they're not all that great with runners in scoring position, yet they're still putting up these massive run type games. Imagine if they hit just a little bit better. Yesterday, they were 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. For a while, they were like 2 for 10, and I was sitting there like, oh, no, not the bad runner in scoring position game. But you know what? They came through. They got the timely hits that we needed. And you look at some of their hitters in this lineup. You got Santander hitting 280 this month. You got Gunnar Henderson hitting 333 this month. Those are the guys that will do damage in this lineup. Gunnar Henderson has just been insane, absolutely scorched earth. You even got Adley Rutschman. He went 5 for 5 yesterday. The only starter in yesterday's lineup without a hit was McCann, the catcher. And you know what? If he got a hit, that would have been crazy, but I'd never expect it from a guy like that. I love this lineup. I love this Baltimore Orioles lineup, and they did damage in the late game portion. Houston, 15th in bullpen ERA. I'll remind you guys, this Houston bullpen is one of their kind of weak points over the course of the season. The fact that they were able to get to, obviously their B team arms yesterday because they were up so much, but this Orioles team still shows fight late game. After coming back in that game, the Orioles were dead in the water. They stood no business at even scoring double-digit runs yesterday. But what they do, they battled back, they fought, and that's what that team does. I like teams that don't just mail it in when they're down big, because there are certainly those teams that will just swing in the dirt just to get the game over. Orioles are not that team. I love this team, and I love the fact that offensively they are scorched earth. There's no reason for me to not take their team total today. Love that pick. But Austin, you got another one. Where are you going?
Yeah, no, I love the Orioles pick. You talked about a bunch of their hitters. Gunner's hot. We didn't put him in a hit parlay today because we're already on those, but love him. Adley's hot. Tony Taters, I think, has 11 or 12 homers this month. He's been insane. So really like that. Now, another guy that I like today for bases, and this is going to be my only base prop of the day, is going to be a guy that you guys know we love here. Bobby Witt Jr. over 1.5 bases, -115 on Bet365. You don't call him Bobby Two Bags for nothing. He's getting us 2 bags today against John Gray in the Rangers. Now, we've talked about Bobby Witt Jr. before. When he comes off a bad game, we like to back him. That's exactly what we did earlier this week. And yesterday, he went hitless. His 19th game hitless this year. In the previous 18, the next game, he had 2+ bases in 14 of 18 such games. So, like this guy that just doesn't have back-to-back bad games. And I just think I love this matchup today for him against John Gray. Now, I can't guarantee how far John Gray goes in this game. Hasn't been a guy that's, been going 6-7 innings pitched. Maybe he does if he's cooking, which wouldn't be great for us. But these guys have some experience against each other. 6 plate appearances for Bobby Witt Jr. against John Gray. In those 6, he has a hit in 3 of them with a single, double, and a triple. Look, all he needs is the home run for the career cycle against John Gray. Can it come today? I'm certainly hopeful, but John Gray's not a guy that's really too complicated. He throws 2 main pitches, slider 45% and a 4-seam fastball 42%. Those are the 2 pitches he's really going to hone in on right-handed batters like a guy like Bobby Witt Jr. And Bobby's been crushing pretty much every pitch this season, but against righty sliders hitting 345, against righty 4-seamers hitting a little over 273, which a high hard hit percentage. So look, I think Bobby will be able to turn on one and potentially put it in the gap, maybe down the line, maybe even into the bleachers, but Gray's just really been struggling a little bit this season. You look at his other percentiles, 9th percentile in average exit velocity, 12th in hard hit percentage, and 26th percentile in barrel percentage. So he's not missing a ton of bats. And when bats are connecting on the ball, they're going pretty fast and they're going pretty far. So I think we'll see Bobby be able to get at least a hit today. And I'm confident that he could potentially get an extra base hit for a little bit of icing on top. Bobby Witt Jr. has 99 hits on the season. Let's see if his 100th can be an extra base hit, which is 39 extra base hits this season. Look, I love Bobby Witt Jr. We all do. He's respected our money over the last 2 seasons, and I think he delivers today coming off a bad game yesterday. Bobby Witt Jr., give us a home run. I certainly think he can get that done, batting in the 2 spot for the Royals. But Logan, you got another pick today. You're heading out to Coors. Who are you backing?
I'm heading out to Coors. Late night game in this one on the East Coast, so get your coffee brewed. I'm taking the Washington Nationals on the money line, -112 odds on DraftKings is your best value there. Now, obviously, this game, slight pick 'em on some books. I'll go ahead and take the Nationals as short favorites in this one. They had a dominant 11-5 win yesterday. I like them to stack another win once again today. And who are they facing? They're going to face Cal Quantrill. He's starting for the Rockies, 3.43 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. Obviously, solid numbers for Cal Quantrill on the year, especially pitching at Coors. I mean, he's 2-3 at home, so losing record, but he's 3.97 ERA at home compared to a 3.06 on the road. Obviously, a little bit inflated at Coors Field, hitter-friendly ballpark, of course. But if you look at some of the stuff of what Quantrill's been doing lately, in June, I think some of those numbers are slightly concerning. He's allowing a 279 batting average, which is the highest of any of the months of the year. He's also allowing a 319 BABIP, which is batting average and balls in play. That's really actually pretty high. I mean, if you look at his other months or his other stats, they're like in the 230s, 240s range. So again, when these hitters are getting hits, the BABIP is just like, where are they going? Anything that's not a home run. I really do think this Nationals team is going to put a lot of balls in play. And if the BABIP's any indicator on that, I think they're going to go, where the defense isn't. and they're going to be able to stack hits on Cal Quantrill. With runners in scoring position, Cal Quantrill only allowing a 172 batting average. That's why he's been able to keep this ERA pretty low. But now he's facing, to me, a bad matchup in the Nationals, which on paper you're like, this isn't the best offense. No, they're not. They're not sexy. They don't score 11 runs every game, but they play this small ball type style, which is perfect against a pitcher that allows a bunch of hits. They will be able to allow those hits. They will hopefully be able to get them the timely hits needed to get those guys home. You look at yesterday, every starter in that Nationals lineup had a hit except for Winker. Winker was obviously the most obvious guy to get a hit and continue his crazy streak. Yeah, naturally he had to go over. But the rest of the guys, you look at Lane Thomas, CJ Abrams, they both had 3 hits. I love seeing CJ Abrams back in that lineup. I think that's a team. When he's in that lineup, I actually do want to back them. And I do think that I like their matchup a lot against Cal Quantrill today. And then on the other side, we got Mitchell Parker starting for the Nationals. 3.06 ERA, 1.08 WHIP. Solid numbers for the young pitcher Mitchell Parker. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less in 3 straight starts. Hopefully his first start at Coors isn't too challenging. Obviously, he might face some innings where he gets into trouble, but it's weirdly enough, he has reverse splits, only allowing a 207 batting average to righties versus a 279 to lefties. Obviously, I don't know what this Rockies lineup is going to look like. There are a couple lefty bats that I do expect in that lineup, so maybe those are guys that he has to work around. But I really do like how tough he is on righties. We look at this Rockies offense. They're still only hitting 230 against lefties over the last week. Yes, over the last month, if you pull out the sample size, it's been better. They are better against lefties. But I still just don't trust them in the spot. I think Mitchell Parker, a guy they've never seen before, I think he gets to them. And you look at Washington, 14th in bullpen ERA, Colorado, 30th in bullpen ERA. That is the main reason why I am very comfortable backing the Nationals, because they have the massive bullpen advantage. Rockies bullpen is a straight liability. They come in these games and they just straight up sell the game. It could be close, Mitchell Parker and Cal Quantrill, but the edge, the decisive edge, goes to Washington late game. I do like the Nationals on the money line as that short favorite pick in that one.
And for our 5th and final pick of the day, it is not going to be a Nerfie. We will talk about 2 Nerfies that we do like after this. We couldn't decide on which one we liked. It's actually going to go to a prop market that we have not touched once this season. That is going to be the walk market. And it's not for a pitcher. It's actually for a batter. Shohei Ohtani to record over a half walk. So we need him to get walked here today. Plus 105 on Bet365. I think getting this at plus money, it's plus 100 on DraftKings, is beautiful. Now, like I said, it's not a market that's available on a ton of different books, but on DraftKings and Bet365, that's a lot of states that you guys probably have to offer out there. And we really do think Shohei is going to get walked here today. Now, there's not a massive analysis for this. It's not like we're diving into the different pitches and how they're coming in and whatnot. It comes down to how I feel like the Angels are going to pitch to Ohtani today. I mean, I wouldn't want to pitch to him yesterday. Ohtani in his first 2 plate appearances, he was walked in both of them. Would have cashed this prop. His 3rd plate appearance, the Angels were like, all right, well, we walked him. Maybe he's not locked in. 3rd pitch, boom. He hit it to a home run. Those are only 2 runs the Dodgers scored yesterday. He did get an in-the-field single later on in the game. But Ohtani's been absolutely cracked. And he's obviously going up against his former team, the Angels. I just don't see them wanting to pitch to him. I mean, we're being honest. There's just no reason to pitch to him. The rest of the Dodgers bats aren't scorching hot, really. And we've seen him actually have a pretty decent career against Plesac, who is scheduled to pitch for the Angels, only making a 2nd start. But Plesac, in his career against Ohtani, 9 total plate appearances, 3 for 7, 2 walks. So he's walked him before, and I wouldn't be surprised if Plesac wants to pitch around him a little bit here today as well. I mean, this is a guy in Ohtani that does have a walk in 5 of his last 7, and he's been super, super good. And we saw Plesac's first start, 2 walks for the Brewers, who are a very walk-happy team, but we've seen him not afraid to walk guys and, try to work around those specific at-bats. And I think there's a chance that given, he's going to get 4 or 5 plate appearances for Ohtani batting leadoff, I think one of those could result in a walk at plus 105. It could happen organically, could be an intentional walk. Either way, I think both of them will count towards this prop. So I really think we have a chance to cash in this one. It's plus 105, a little bit of a sneaky prop market. I just don't think this should be plus 105. I think it should be closer to minus 135, minus 140. I think about guys that get walked a ton. Guys like Juan Soto, he's like minus 180 to get walked today. Look, I'm not saying Ohtani should be minus 180 because Juan Soto has a very high tendency to walk, whereas Ohtani's, not the most, walked guy in the league unless it's more intentional walks. But Ohtani will not swing at too many pitches out of the zone. And I think he gets plenty of them today. And I think he get walked organically, intentionally. Could be by Plesac, could be by the Angels bullpen. I don't care. Ohtani needs a walk. Plus 105. I love it. Now let's talk about some nerfies. Logan, I'll let you talk about your nerfie lean before I talk about mine. Which one do you like?
Yeah, this again is just a lean because to put the nerfie on the card, we have to both really, really love it and think it's worth a unit play. This one is just a lean. It's one I like a little bit. It's the Twins and A's nerfie, JP Sears and Bailey Ober in that one. I just think if you're looking at this one, JP Sears, he got rocked against the Twins, which is why it's not on our card. So I think he pitches better against them. Again, I don't trust the Twins to be able to score consistently. I think Bailey Ober is a good option as well. I think each of those guys stands a really good chance of getting 3 outs. But again, it's not my favorite nerfie because JP Sears did just get rocked by him. So if he got rocked by them again, then I'm just stupid. But I think he makes those adjustments and doesn't get rocked again. Austin, you had another lean, though. What was yours?
Yeah, like Logan talked about, we just had a little bit of iffy feelings about Sears. Now, in his last start against the Twins, he obviously gave up 3 earned runs in the first, but then dialed it in after that. We'll see if he maybe goes back to getting whatever was working. I don't know. Something about that one. It was a lean. If you want to take it, you can. Mine was actually going to be the Marlins and Mariners. Now, the reason we're not adding this to the card is we don't know a ton about Sean Anderson. Has pitched since 2019, but didn't pitch for a few years. Then he came back in his last start. And yeah, he didn't look too good. He gave up 10 hits and 7 earned runs. However, only made 2 innings, but he did get the nerfie, which is, you know what? Hey, we'll take that. But at the end of the day, it is a guy trusting that we don't have watched a ton. The Mariners are not a great first inning offense or offense really in general. And then you got the Marlins, who actually have been pretty good in the first inning, but they're going up against Logan Gilbert, who's obviously been pretty solid in first innings. But the Marlins do have some guys at the top of that order that have been getting those extra base hits. Comes on if they can hit them in. So we're just going to stick with our 5 plays of the day. If you want to take a nerfie, like I said, we don't mind the Marlins or Mariners or the Twins and Athletics, but we're not going to force a 6th pick on the card. We found some good success with 5, and we're going to take those 5 picks, which have been scrolling down at the bottom of the screen for the last few minutes. So y'all have a wonderful Saturday. Let's hopefully turn in another 4-in-1 day. We would take that. That could take a 5-0 day if you want to throw one of those our way, but let's stay hot and hopefully continue this momentum and have a great close to June and hopefully continue that through the rest of the summer. Y'all have a great Saturday, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow on Sunday with some more picks. We'll see you then. Peace.